Money doesn't disappear, it moves. And when it does, it leaves a story. The NYS loot, how Kenya's billions were washed in plain sight. They said it was for the youth, for jobs, for dignity, for a new Kenya. The National Youth Service was supposed to lift the poor, train the unemployed, and rebuild the country, brick by brick. But what began as a patriotic institution became a shell, a front for theft, a symbol of how corruption wears the mask of reform. By 2013, the National Youth Service had been largely forgotten, underfunded, underperforming. But the Jubilee government saw an opportunity to rebrand NYS as a force for urban renewal and mass youth employment. Under the Ministry of Devolution, led by Cabinet Secretary Anne Waiguru, NYS launched massive projects in Kibera, Mathare, and other informal settlements. Budgets exploded, growing from $900 million in 2013 to over $25 billion by 2015. On paper, it was transformation. On the ground, it was theft waiting to be discovered. It started small, questionable invoices here, inflated contracts there. But soon, the Integrated Financial Management Information System, or IFMIS, began to show a pattern. Repeated payments to unfamiliar suppliers, contracts awarded without proper vetting, procurement bypassed entirely, sometimes signed after money had already moved. At the center, Josephine Kabura, a former Salinist who registered over 20 companies within months, all of which were awarded millions in state contracts. She submitted multiple invoices, some for the exact same service, and still got paid. What raised alarms? In one case, payments were approved at 3 a.m., outside working hours. In another, goods were delivered on paper to non-existent warehouses. NYS insiders, including IT staff, manipulated IFMIS using login credentials of officials who were out of office or on leave. The fraud was so smooth, even auditors missed it at first. It wasn't a whistleblower who broke the case, it was a digital footprint. The controller of budget flagged suspicious transfers, payments made without requisitions, and inconsistent with procurement thresholds. Then came the Auditor General's leaked report showing $791 million missing. What followed was a digital deep dive. The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, began extracting IFMI server logs, revealing when and how login credentials were misused. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, matched payment timestamps with CCTV footage, proving that approvals were made by staff not in the building. Mobile money platforms like M-Pesa were subpoenaed, tracing funds as they hopped from NYS to suppliers to personal wallets and family members. And it got worse. Some NYS officials personally withdrew millions in cash, just days after supplier accounts were credited. Bank account records showed massive cash deposits, followed by purchases of luxury cars. Land in Runda and Karen, high-end apartments in Nairobi and Mombasa, a financial trail that led straight to the doors of Ben Gethi, the flashy NYS director known for designer clothes and armored cars. The case blew open in 2015, with over 30 arrests tied to the first wave of looting. Ben Gethi was charged with laundering over $105 million, much of it through relatives. Josephine Kabura, in a sworn affidavit, claimed she delivered bags of cash to senior officials, including aides to Cabinet Secretary Anne Waiguru. Anne Waiguru denied any involvement and later resigned, citing health reasons, only to re-enter politics and become governor of Kirinyaga County. But just as the dust settled, a second scandal erupted in 2018, this time involving $9 billion in fresh NYS payments, funneled through the same tricks. Duplicate invoices, fake deliveries, doctored supplier records. This time, even top-level ministry officials were implicated. Principal Secretary Lillian Omalo, NYS Director General Richard Ndubai, dozens of others, procurement officers, accountants, business people. Arrests were made, statements recorded, trials began. But progress stalled, evidence was challenged, files disappeared. The NYS scandal was a masterclass in how to loot using systems designed for accountability. So what did it teach us? The system isn't broken, it's exploited. Tools like IFMIS are only as secure as the people operating them. With insider collusion, even digital audits become complicit. Digital trails are permanent if you follow them. Investigators cracked this case using metadata, timestamps, logins, GPS data, and bank transaction sequencing. Prosecution is meaningless without political will. Despite over 100 suspects arrested, convictions remain few and the recovery of stolen funds even fewer. And for millions of young Kenyans who saw NYS as a ladder out of poverty, it became a symbol of betrayal. The National Youth Service was built to serve the people. But the money meant for shovels bought silence. The funds for food bought votes. The promise of jobs bought cars, condos, and immunity. But money never disappears. It moves, and it leaves a trail in bank transfers, digital footprints, and broken promises. The money always leaves a trail if you know where to look. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.